Single dad rents a room to two strange college twin girls unaware of who they were. A heartfelt moments video. Script: Marcus never thought one small decision, one tiny act of kindness could change the entire direction of his life. But that's exactly what happened on a rainy Tuesday in October when two soaking wet strangers knocked on his door. He almost didn't answer. He almost said no, and if he had, everything would have been different. If stories like this one move your heart, you're in the right place. Welcome to Heartfelt Moments, the channel where real kindness meets real lives. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below telling us about a time a stranger surprised you with their kindness. Now, let's get into the story. Marcus Cole was a 42-year-old electrician living in a modest 3-bedroom house on the edge of Columbus, Ohio. He'd been raising his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, on his own since his wife passed away from cancer 3 years earlier. Life wasn't easy. His truck needed new brakes, Lily needed braces, and the heating bill had climbed high enough that Marcus had started wearing an extra sweater around the house just to save a few dollars each month. His neighbor, Janet, was the one who suggested he rent out the spare bedroom. "You've got the space, Marcus," she said one afternoon over the fence. "It's just sitting empty." He resisted at first. The idea of strangers in his home, around his daughter, it made him uneasy. But the bills kept piling up, and eventually, he posted a listing online: 1 room available, shared kitchen, quiet household, $650 a month. The responses were few. A couple of college guys who seemed more interested in hosting parties than paying rent. An older man who never called back. And then, one Thursday evening, he got a message from two sisters twins, actually named Amara and Adiz Okafor. They were first-year students at Columbus State, studying nursing. They were polite, their message was thoughtful, and they explained they were new to the city and didn't know many people. Marcus agreed to a meeting. They showed up on a rainy Saturday morning with one shared umbrella between them that clearly wasn't doing much good. Both of them were drenched, laughing about it as they stood on his porch. They were bright-eyed, warm, and almost comically identical. Same dimples, same laugh, same way of finishing each other's sentences. Lily, who had been peeking around the hallway corner, immediately walked over and declared, "You're twins, that's so cool." Marcus wasn't sure what he expected. But he hadn't expected this. He showed them the room, small, with a single window overlooking the backyard, and apologized for how plain it was. Amara shook her head, and said it was perfect. Adiz agreed. They took it on the spot. Within a week, the house felt different. Not louder exactly, but warmer. Amara and Adiz were up early, studying at the kitchen table with mugs of tea before Marcus even had his coffee brewing. They were neat, respectful, and genuinely kind, the kind that doesn't perform itself. It just exists. Amara started making a little extra rice at dinner, and leaving a plate in the fridge for Marcus without being asked. Adiz helped Lily with her reading homework one night, when Marcus was stuck on a long job, and Lily had apparently spent an hour afterward, asking her 100 questions about Nigeria, where the twins were from. What Marcus didn't know, what he never thought to ask, was that Amara and Adiz came from an extraordinarily wealthy family. Their father was a prominent physician in Lagos. Their mother ran a non-profit that had built schools across 3 West African countries. The girls had chosen Columbus State specifically because they wanted to earn their own way, to understand struggle firsthand before they inherited a life of comfort. They had turned down an apartment their father offered to pay for, because they wanted to learn how to make do, how to stretch a budget, how to live like most people lived. But here is where the story turns. 3 months in, Marcus got hit with a medical bill from an emergency room visit he'd had back in the summer. A core chest scare that turned out to be stress-related but still cost him nearly $4,000 out of pocket. He didn't tell anyone. He just went quiet for a few days, eating less, sleeping poorly, staring at the ceiling after Lily went to bed. Amara noticed. She didn't pry. She simply sat down beside him at the kitchen table one morning and said, "You've been kind to us since the day we walked in soaking wet. Will you let us be kind to you?" He tried to wave her off. She didn't let him. The twins had called their father that same week, not to ask for the apartment, not for extra money, but to ask if they could help someone who had opened his home without hesitation, and never once made them feel like outsiders. Their father, a man who believed deeply that generosity was a currency more powerful than money, didn't hesitate. The bill was paid, not as a loan, as a gift. Marcus cried. He told them he didn't deserve it. Adiz looked at him, and said something he would never forget. Kindness doesn't wait for people who deserve it. It goes where it's needed. He still has that sentence written on a sticky note on his refrigerator. Lily drew a small heart next to it. The twins finished their first year, moved into the campus dormitories for their second, and stayed close to Marcus and Lily ever since. They come back for Sunday dinners. Adias was there when Lily performed in her school play last spring. Amara was the one Marcus called when he got promoted to foreman at his company because she was one of the first people he thought of sharing good news with. None of it, not one moment of it, would have happened if Marcus had let fear close his door that Saturday morning. If he had looked at two strangers and seen only the risk instead of the possibility. Kindness rarely announces itself. It rarely comes with guarantees or clear instructions. Most of the time, it just looks like a simple choice to open a door, to set an extra plate, to sit beside someone who is struggling and ask if they'll let you help. Those small moments, compounded over time, build something stronger than any of us could construct alone. You never really know who you're letting in when you choose kindness. You never know what they might carry with them, or what they might leave behind. But the people who keep choosing it anyway, they tend to find out that the world gives back in the most unexpected and beautiful ways. Be that person. Choose kindness. You never know whose life you might change, including your own. Thank you for watching Heartfelt Moments. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today.